You wanted it for years. The job, the money, the person. The thing you were sure would finally make you feel like you'd made it. And then you got it. And after a day, maybe a week, the feeling was gone. The emptiness came back, like nothing had changed. And quietly, you started to wonder if something is wrong with you, if you're ungrateful, if anything will ever be enough. You're not ungrateful, and nothing is wrong with you. The emptiness you felt at the finish line wasn't a glitch. It's the most predictable thing your brain could possibly do. There's a name for this. Psychologists call it the arrival fallacy, the belief that reaching a goal will deliver the happiness you imagined. And almost everyone believes it. We spend years, sometimes decades, chasing a finish line we're certain will change everything. Then we cross it, and the change doesn't come. Most people draw the wrong conclusion. They think, I picked the wrong goal, or I need a bigger one. So they choose a new finish line and start running again. But the problem was never the goal. The problem is built into how your brain handles wanting, having, and everything in between. 3 machines. Let's take them apart. Start with the chemical everyone misunderstands: dopamine. You've been told dopamine is the pleasure chemical, the reward, the hit you get when something good happens. That's wrong, and the mistake explains everything. Dopamine isn't the chemical of having, it's the chemical of wanting. Neuroscientists found that dopamine doesn't spike when you get the reward. It spikes before, in the anticipation, in the chase, while the reward is still ahead of you, still uncertain, still wanted. Your brain runs 2 completely separate systems, one for wanting something, one for actually liking it once you have it, and they don't run on the same fuel. Wanting is loud, relentless. It's what drags you out of bed and makes you grind for years. Liking is quiet, brief. It fades in minutes. So here's what actually happened the day you got what you wanted. The dopamine that had been driving you, the engine of the entire chase, switched off because there was nothing left to pursue. The peak was never going to be at the finish line. The peak was the night before, the wanting, the almost. You didn't lose the feeling. The feeling was never going to be there. It lives in the chase, and the chase was over. But there's a second machine, and it explains why the good feeling, even when it does come, never lasts. Your brain has a thermostat for happiness. Whatever happens to you, good or bad, it adjusts back toward a baseline. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation, the hedonic treadmill. The most famous study on this compared 2 groups: people who had just won the lottery and people who had been in serious accidents. Within a year, the gap had shrunk dramatically. The lottery winners weren't nearly as happy as you'd expect, and ordinary pleasures, a good meal, a sunny day, actually meant less to them, because they'd recalibrated to a higher baseline. That's the treadmill. You get the raise, the car, the house, the goal, and within weeks it becomes the new normal, the new floor you stand on without even noticing. And your brain does this on purpose. A baseline that never reset would be useless. You'd be frozen by permanent joy or permanent despair. So it drags you back to neutral every time, no matter what you achieve. Which means no single thing you get will ever move your happiness for long. Not because the thing was wrong, because the floor rises up to meet it every single time. There's a third machine, and it's the one no one warns you about. While you were chasing, the goal wasn't just a goal. It was a structure. It organized your days. It gave you a reason to get up, a direction, a way to measure yourself. It told you who you were, the person becoming a doctor, building the company, training for the race, saving for the thing. Your identity was wrapped around the pursuit. And the moment you arrive, all of it vanishes at once. The structure is gone. The direction is gone. The version of you that was on the way no longer has anywhere to go. That hollow feeling after a big win isn't only chemistry. It's grief. You're mourning the chase, the person you were while you wanted it, the simple organizing clarity of having one thing to move toward. We think achievement is a door we walk through, but for the part of you that lived inside the pursuit, it's a door that closes behind you. 3 machines, a chemical built for wanting, not having, a baseline that resets to neutral, and the quiet loss of the self that did the chasing. All of them firing the moment you finally win. So here's what the emptiness actually is. It is not proof that you chose the wrong goal. It is not proof that you're ungrateful or broken or impossible to satisfy. It's proof that your brain is working exactly as designed. Think about why. For almost all of human history, a satisfied animal was a dead animal. The creature that felt enough stopped hunting, stopped storing, stopped preparing for winter. The ones who survived were the ones who could never quite rest, who always felt the next thing pulling at them. You are descended from the ones who were never satisfied. So the emptiness at the finish line isn't a malfunction. It's the engine restarting, pointing you at the next horizon, doing the one thing that kept your ancestors alive, refusing to let you stop. The feeling was never going to say, "You've arrived," because your brain doesn't believe in arrival. And once you understand that, you stop reading the emptiness as failure, and you start using it instead. You can't switch the machines off, but you can stop letting them run your life. 3 shifts. 1. Put the meaning in the chase, not the finish line. The dopamine, the aliveness, the best part, it all lives in the pursuit. So choose goals you'd enjoy chasing even if you never arrived. The journey isn't a consolation prize, it's the actual prize. 2. Fight the treadmill on purpose. Your baseline resets fast, so slow it down. Notice what you have before it turns invisible. Picture losing it. Gratitude isn't soft, it's the one move that interrupts the reset. 3. Plan the day after the win, before you win. Line up the next pursuit. Protect the structure, so arriving feels like a step, not a cliff. You were never going to find the feeling at the finish line, but you can stop chasing it there and start living where it actually is. You'll want something again, soon. That's not a flaw, it's the engine. But now you know the truth about the finish line. It was never going to fill you. Nothing crossed at full speed ever does. The point was never to arrive. The point was to have something worth chasing. If this changed how you see the things you're chasing, like, subscribe, and share it with someone running toward a finish line right now. This is ORIGINIFY, where we undiscover the hidden forces shaping everyday life and uncover the quiet truths behind what it means to be human.